Hey everyone, it's me, Goku! Don't forget to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming. Here, you'll find the latest Dragon Ball news and content. Also, don't forget to like the video and follow Unreal on both Instagram and Twitter.
Kakarot! You, Kakarot, you will be the first to turn on notifications. And give this video a like right now, or else I'll destroy you!
So with Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 102 now officially in the history books, following the initial events of Goku being shown returning back onto Earth upon having to sense his son's Gohan power having to explode, Goku's interest in Gohan's power following the information given to him by Whis seems to be more prominent going forward, especially with Goku now on Earth, as with Goku's intentions now becoming more and more prominent upon him having to address Gohan. The million-dollar question now moving forward is what exactly is about to transpire involving both Gohan and Goku moving forward, and how exactly is Goku's interest in learning more about Gohan's beast form going to affect the outcome of once the inevitable battle involving Black Frieza ends up happening. As a quick little reminder before we go any deeper into this video, if you just so happen to be new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then I do encourage for you guys to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel, as well as making sure to go on over and smash that like button down below. And if you would like to learn more and catch up on all of the previous Dragon Ball Super manga chapters that have led us to this very moment in this story right now, then be sure to head on down into the description box below and check out the official Dragon Ball Super manga chapters playlist for tons of additional content and information. So with all that out of the way, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for your support, and now let's dive straight into the video. As we kick off Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 102 following the initial events of Goku being shown returning back onto Earth, as with Goku now visibly happy and having to be shown addressing Trunks, Goten, and Gohan, was when Goku then went on to respond. And I gotta say, Gohan, that burst of ki from you a minute ago just now, just wow. Huh? Oh, right, Gohan responds, with Goku continuing, well, no, not here, need a better spot. Hey, I know, come with me to Lord Beerus's planet, Gohan. You can show me there. Show you what exactly? Your new form, of course. I want to see how strong it is, with Gohan responding, in this outfit though? Well, fine. Hurry up and get changed then. I can wait, Goku responds. Sure. Well, in the meantime, how's it going, you two? What are you guys up to out here? With Goten and Trunks responding, well, you know, just hanging out with my favorite brother, right? Yeah, totally, Trunks responds. Hey, I know. Why don't you guys tag along with us? Goku continues. We gotta get out of here, Carmine responds. Hey, pedal to the metal, now! We need to make ourselves scarce. Aye, sir, says 15. Well, what do you think, Goten? Trunks questions. Well, it could be fun. To which as soon as Goten and Trunks were from there shown getting back in the car with Goku leaning on in towards the window, was when Goku then went on to respond, hey, you might want to wear a seatbelt because I can transport everyone at once, okay? Alright, well, sorry about that just now, but I'm ready, Dad, with Goku responding, great, and so now you get in too, Gohan, to which as soon as Goku was then shown placing his hand on the car and having to take the entire car onto Beerus's planet, Goku was only then shown having to enact upon this just in the middle of Whis being shown having to demonstrate yoga to Shilai, Lemmo, and Broly. By no means was Broly, Shilai, Lemmo, Whis, Beerus, or Vegeta expecting for Goku to go on ahead and bring guests, as Goku then went on to continue, hey, look who I brought! Oh wow, so this is Lord Beerus's planet, huh? Goten utters, with Vegeta responding, Trunks, why have you come here? It was Goku's idea, Dad. Oh, where are we, sir? 15 questions. Oh, nowhere familiar, Carmine responds. And so that much I can tell you, with Goku being shown approaching Gohan by then responding, hey, so I hear that you were the star of the show, Gohan, with Gohan responding, yeah? Oh, yeah, right, the Red Ribbon Army thing, sure. Well, you want to show me? We might as well spar a little, right? With Gohan responding, a spar with you, Dad? No, come on, what's the big deal? It's been forever anyways, right? Well, true enough, Gohan responds. Well, in that case then, fine, let's do it. I'm game on if you are, with Beerus then having to shout, oh, the nerve storming onto my planet just to have some fun. Who do you think you are? With Whis having to respond, oh, what's the harm, Lord Beerus? It could be a delightful spectacle, you know. Hey, so tell me, what's this new form of yours, Goku questions? Is it like Super Saiyan 2 or maybe like Super Saiyan 3? With Gohan responding, nope, it's called Beast. Beast? Well, that's a new one, Goku responds, with Gohan continuing, yeah, well, Piccolo named it for me actually, neato, right? With Goku responding, and wait, so you can just shift into this beast mode whenever? With Gohan responding, yeah, actually. You've always told me that I needed to be ready to fight at a moment's notice, and I finally got the message, Dad. And though it was Piccolo who actually went and taught me the trick to get better control, too. Wait, he did? Well, he is like your old teacher after all, with Gohan responding, well, speaking of Piccolo actually, he's got a really awesome new form of his own, too. Whoa, you don't say. Well, I'll have to go and spar with him next time then. Man, everyone's just been making progress, huh? With Vegeta chiming in, ahem, Trunks, did you prove useful as well? Me? Yeah, duh. I played a huge part, right, Goten? Right, Goten? Sure, Goten responds. And I wish you could have seen it too, Dad. Just, you know, all of our sick combo moves and stuff. Combo moves, Gohan utters, with Goten responding, well, yeah, since we're a team, and when we combined our power, no opponent stands a chance, with Vegeta having to then think for a second by then responding, interesting. Hey, Kakarot, why not go and pit Gohan against these whelps first? Whoa, Trunks utters? Oh, really? Well, okay, sure, I guess. Well, at least this way I get a peek at Gohan's power before our actual fight, right? With Goten then responding, we gotta fight my brother? Oh yeah, this is perfect, Goten. Let's go and give it a shot, Trunks responds. Oh, yeah, I think we got a chance at taking him down as a team, you know? Well, don't you two sound confident, Gohan responds. Yeah, well, I guess so, Trunks utters. Wait a minute, who are they, Broly questions, with Whis responding, well, those three would be Goku and Vegeta's offsprings, meaning that Saiyan blood flows through their veins as well, to which as soon as Goku and Vegeta were hesitantly being shown watching, both Carmine and number 15 were also now shown doing the same, as 15 went on to then chime in, oh, something's about to go down, sir. I know, and just keep out of sight for now and don't attract any attention, okay? Yeah, well, Carmine, sir, your hair is pretty hard to hide, you know? I'll just curse this, Carmine went on to then shuffle. Hey, Mr. Trunks then went on to suddenly shout, get that camera ready, okay? You bet, 15 utters, with Goku then having to shout, and begin! To which, as the boys were then shown putting on their helmets, and from that point then shown dashing right towards Gohan, it was almost immediately upon Goten and Trunks being shown making their way towards Gohan was when Gohan decided from that point to then only use Super Saiyan and nothing more, which really made you stop and wonder as to what Gohan was planning as the boys were making their way towards him, to which as soon as Gohan was shown having to prepare while keeping a smile on his face and blocking off Trunks' initial attack, Goten from out of nowhere now behind Gohan thought that it would be a good idea to catch Gohan off guard, but instead, little did Goten know that he was dealing with his older brother Gohan, and Gohan by no means was going to be putting up with any of this, so instead, Gohan was immediately shown having to block off Goten's kick before the two were then shown breaking off and having to synchronize their attacks yet again, but once again, little did the boys know that they're not dealing with any sort of ordinary criminal or let alone any sort of ordinary person, but instead they attempted to go on ahead and cyclone their way down in doing what they assumed would be best in having to bring Gohan down and beating him in battle, but instead, it was only just as Gohan went on to leap out of the way and having to make complete and utter fools out of both of them at the exact same time, was when Goten and Trunks had then realized the error of their ways as they made their way and having to crash down onto the floor, which had only from that point left the others completely embarrassed and having to see what their sons were doing during this entire engagement, because even despite what the others now having to acknowledge this was when Goku then went on to chime in, well, those boys tend to always make a lot of unnecessary movements, as an annoyed Gohan then went on to respond, hey, what's wrong with you guys? Don't cover your heads, it only makes it harder for you guys to see your opponent's movements, with Trunks and Goten responding, oh damn, but it makes the costume look really cool. No, just forget it, Goten responds, and let's just fight him normally, with Gohan responding, good, that's better, to which moments later, as soon as Goten and Trunks were from that point then shown transforming into Super Saiyans, this was the first time, mind you, that Broly had ever seen Goten, Trunks, and Gohan simultaneously transform into Super Saiyans, as Broly then went on to respond, what? Can everyone just turn Super Saiyan at will? With Whis responding, well yes, that does seem to be the case with most of the Saiyans on Earth, with Broly uttering, I see. In which this was now beginning to look a little different, because despite the fact of both Super Saiyan Trunks and Super Saiyan Goten having to double team Gohan at the exact same time, it would only now seem as though whenever Goten and Trunks decide to take anything seriously is when they tend to work better with each other than having to go about by utilizing their superhero personas and having to stop crime, because the very moment Goten was shown knocking Gohan away with Trunks trying to follow up by blasting Gohan with a few energy blasts, it had only now become clear as day that the boys do in fact tend to work better together when indeed they actually are serious about combat rather than having to portray their Saiyaman X1 and Saiyaman X2 personas, because even despite with Gohan being shown avoiding Trunks' energy blast while at the same time avoiding his brother's strikes, what Gohan inevitably tried to do was bait both Goten and Trunks in having to follow him straight towards Beerus' gigantic tree, to which even as he did, Goten and Trunks did not let up by still continuously being shown attacking Gohan despite nearly crashing right into Beerus' tree, which thankfully enough, the moment Gohan flew upwards with the boys then having to follow him, Gohan had then quickly acted upon having to use the environment around him to his advantage in swinging on over by using one of the branches and knocking Trunks away, to where even with Goten once again attempting to come up from behind Gohan, with Gohan being shown punching Goten down, Gohan did not seem as though he was having any sort of issue by handling these two by himself, to which even despite him being shown letting off a few energy blasts, with the two energy blasts being shown going right through their bodies, what Gohan was not expecting to happen was Gohan was not expecting for the two to use the after image technique, and from there being shown having to come up from behind Gohan yet again, to which instinctively enough, with Gohan barely being shown having to move out of the way with Goten and Trunks being shown crashing back down, it only had now looked as though Gohan was genuinely proud by seeing the boys actually go as far as to put in some effort, as Gohan then went on to respond, wow, well done you two, I can see that you've been training, and I always thought you guys were just playing around, you know? Well, heroes have to be strong, you know, Goten responds, with Trunks being shown dashing towards Gohan by then uttering, yeah, and that's cause, to which even with Trunks being shown engaging back and forth, and even going as far as to grab onto Gohan's punches and having to keep him locked in place, was when it now had only looked as though Trunks was comfortable enough in his Super Saiyan form to go as far as to handle Super Saiyan Gohan by himself, as even while locked in a stalemate with Gohan was when Trunks then went on to finish, well, it's like I said, and that's cause there are people that I want to protect, with Gohan responding, oh, is that so? As immediately there, before you know it, with Gohan then shown having to throw Trunks on down, with Goten yet again for the third time trying to sneak up behind Gohan, Gohan was shown having to yet again move out of the way by grabbing onto Goten's leg, and from there shown having to throw Goten right back down where Trunks was, which was also another indication that even despite with these two having a very small slight advantage by having the numbers game over Gohan, Gohan still as a Super Saiyan was strong enough to handle them by themselves, as Gohan then went on to respond, well, in that case, count me in too, as with Gohan then shown transforming into his ultimate form, that was when Goten went on to then utter, hey, transforming into ultimate is cheating! What? What's ultimate? Gohan went on to question, with Goten responding, wait, seriously? It's the name of that transformation, Gohan. We didn't know what to call it for a long time, and so, well, we came up with one ourselves, wink wink. I don't really get it, with Goten then questioning, oh, why? Isn't it cool? Hey, Goten, if that's the case, then let's power up too by using fusion. And I'm talking about fusion, with Gohan questioning fusion? Well, didn't you guys fail that before? Yeah, but well, we practiced after that, and so we won't fail now. Hey, old man, make sure you're recording, okay? Trunks utters, with soldier number 15 responding, yes, sir. All right, you ready? Fusion! With Goku then having to utter, oh, look, they seem to still remember Vegeta, but not quite. Because it was only seconds later, through the blinding light that was beginning to shine on through, to everyone's disappointment and utter shock, instead of going as far far as to get the perfected variation of the young adult version of Gotenks, we instead now revert back to fat Gotenks instead, as the run-on gag for the boys in having to either misremember or continuously mess up the fusion seems to be a common trope with them, as even with Gotenks themselves having to acknowledge that, yeah, they're fat again, that was when Goku went on to chime in, oh man, they failed. Oh, you still couldn't do it right, Gohan utters, with Gotenks having to then yell, oh, damn it, well, I've got no other choice than to go in with this, hi-ya! But just as you expected for this battle to go, this was by no means going to favor Gotenks whatsoever, because before you know it, in one literal strike with one singular kick to Gotenks' face, what Gohan inevitably ends up doing is one-shotting Gotenks across the field and having to land near Beerus' tree, which once again also went as far as to kind of give us the notion that Ultimate Gohan is stronger than a misrepresented fusion, at least thus far, because for Gotenks now, that was all she wrote, with Goku then having to respond, whew, man, well that settles it, I guess, with Gotenks uttering, damn, I lost. What a waste, Vegeta utters. Well, alright, Goku says, my turn's next. Alright, Dad, thank you so much, with Broly having to look on surprised by them responding, and so now it's Goku, with Gotenks quickly running towards the Red Ribbon car by then having to shout, hey, can you please delete that footage where I just lost the battle? Just delete it all! To which, respectively enough, just before their initial engagement, with both Goku and Gohan now shown having to bow towards one another and giving the other respect, by no means was Goku looking to waste a single second in this battle, but by instead having to jump to his strongest level of power, to which as soon as Goku was shown having to go from his base level and jumping straight into Mastered Ultra Instinct was when Gotenks went on to then chime in, whoa, that must be Ultra Instinct, with Goku responding, there we go, and so now let's not waste any more time and jump into our final forms, Gohan, with Gohan responding, right, Dad, understood, with Beerus having to then chime in, Whis, Goku's current Ultra Instinct is his strongest technique, right? Why, yes, it seems like it, Whis responds, to which as soon as Gohan then was shown having to close his eyes, in almost looking calm, cool, and collected similar to that of his father, we then begin to see a very intense gust of wind begin to circle Gohan's body, as Gohan from there was beginning to channel all of the energy within him, in going as far as to relax himself just before the point of having to unleash this festering storm that had been brewing within him, as before you know it, the moment Gohan suddenly went on to open his eyes, similar to that of how he did against Perfect Cell in Dragon Ball Z and Cell Max in Dragon Ball Super, Gohan from there immediately erupts in an explosive fit of rage and channeling everything he has from within him now onto the surface, and from there giving way and finally introducing his Beast form before a large audience to see for the very first time, with Beast Gohan now standing ready for battle against Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and also having to leave Goku completely baffled, as even with both Goku and Vegeta taken back by the sudden storm of energy that was beginning to slam right into them, was when Vegeta then went on to respond, this is, whoa, now that's one hell of a key storm, Gohan, incredible, Goku responds. Look, he's back to that same look that he had before, Carmine responds. Well now, didn't I tell you that you might see something interesting? Whis went on to then question Beerus, with Gohan then responding, alright, Dad, now let's begin, with Goku responding, yeah, I've been looking forward to this, and so now let's do it. To where with both Gohan and Goku now being shown getting into fighting position, with Vegeta having to look on with a grin on his face, that was when both Goku and Gohan were from that point then shown dashing right towards each other and not wasting a single second during this moment, because this very matchup in and of itself was going to be a deciding factor in having to determine on which one of the two between Gohan and Goku was going to be the strongest warrior, in which moments before having to clash, with Gohan and Goku being shown having to vanish and demonstrating tremendous amounts of speed in the sky, it was only just upon their initial engagement with the two going back and forth with such intensity that it only prompted everybody to look up in absolute awe. One could only go as far as to imagine the level of speed in which these two are actually fighting in currently, because it was only just upon their battle now beginning to take place as the entirety of Beerus' planet was now beginning to tremble and essentially have massive parts of the planet be destroyed under the tremendous pressure and shockwaves that were now beginning to emanate from this very battle. The ongoing spectators that were watching this, such as Sheila and Lemmo, were lucky enough to have Broly by their side and having to protect them from flying off the planet, including both Soldier number 15 and Carmine, who were coincidentally enough saved by none other than Fat Gotenks, as it was only just when Carmine was beginning to thank Gotenks as Broly kept on looking up towards the sky, was where you can see it upon Broly's face that he was mesmerized surprised by this very battle, to which as soon as Beast Gohan was shown engaging against Ultra Instinct Goku, neither of the two warriors looked as though they were gonna falter from this position, because neither of the two warriors had looked as though they were worried, concerned, or fearful of the other in this battle, but instead it only had now looked as though they were fighting on par and rather equally, instead of just simply having one completely overpower the other, which from that point once again had only transitioned in Goku and Gohan moving at such rapid speeds, to which once again had only went as far as to create another shockwave of storms that even went as far as to have Whis create a barrier around the spectators watching, to where even with Beerus having to observe this as he was patiently watching up above in the sky was when Beerus went on to comment, "Whis?" Why yes, Whis responds, as this barrier was very much well needed, because as of course you guys can see with Gohan and Goku battling very intensely up in the sky, the amount of sheer force that was beginning to rain down all throughout the landscape below was beginning to become a very big danger to everyone that was currently there. But even thus, nevertheless, a very telling battle between the two so far, because as soon as we transition on outwards in seeing the trees be blown away off Beerus's planet, in seeing the water be blown away off Beerus's planet, neither Gohan or Goku once again seem to be letting up against the other, because still, even now, they appear to be fighting very evenly, even if this means this comes at the cost of Beerus's planet completely being destroyed, which is very rare to see happen, especially if Beerus is never one to have anyone actually go as far as to wreck his planet like this to begin with. But even then, despite with Gohan and Goku having to break away and landing back down, and having to then take a look at the entire ravaged landscape from above, it's almost incredible to see the level of damage that Gohan and Goku had done onto Beerus's planet thus far, while mind you having to fight very casually, as Goku then went on to respond, "Alright Gohan, let's keep this going," with Gohan responding, "Right," as Beerus then went on to chime in, "Oh, those guys, look what they've done to my planet," as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 102 then comes to a close. Now you can make no mistake about the fact that now number one, what this manga chapter basically goes on to set up now going into Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 103 is going as far as to establish the overall premise of what is about to transpire involving Beast Gohan and Ultra Instinct Goku, and with neither of the two looking hesitant or tired or fearful of the other, you can only imagine now going into next month's manga chapter as to how brutal this fight is going to be, only because there needs to be a definitive winner unless they somehow either end up interrupting the fight or somehow coming to a conclusion where this fight ends up being a draw. But what I really enjoyed about this manga chapter specifically was seeing the boys Goten and Trunks actually get some shine on over by having to battle and train with Gohan. But if anything else, this was in fact the first time that we've ever seen Goten and Trunks alongside with Gohan having to be on Beerus's planet. But on top of this, this was also the first time that we had the chance to see Vegeta, Broly, Goku, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks on Beerus's planet together. But one of the biggest takeaways for me was seeing the fact that the Goten/Trunks fight with Gohan lasted a bit longer than it should, to which I want to go on ahead now and get your thoughts and how you guys feel down in the comment section below in regards to 3 specific questions, with that being question number 1, on a rating scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being absolute trash and with 5 being phenomenal, what would you guys rank Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 102 and why? Question number 2 is essentially, which side are you guys on? Are you guys for Team Gohan or are you guys for Team Goku going into Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 103? And lastly, question number 3 is, who do you think is stronger currently between Ultra Instinct Goku and Beast Gohan, and why? As again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you all so much for your time. To which, once more, if you also just so happen to be new to the channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more, because there is so much more coming your way. And with all that being said, I will be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
Cut.